Looking to get the edge when betting on the ponies? Get access to all of SIG's reports now through the Belmont Stakes for only $169. You will get approximately 5 sheets per week for the next 15 weeks at $75 $9 reports. That comes out to a $675 value if purchased daily, saving you $506, and you'll have total access to SIG sports racing selections through Derby prep season, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes.
All right, welcome in. It's time for another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show here on this March the 16th, 2021. It is all powered by WagerTalk.com. And big night in the association here tonight. Yet again, we are rolling, and we've got a couple of games, well, 4 to be exact, that we are going to go ahead and break down for you here tonight. Those games will include the Thunder and the Bulls, as well as the Celtics Jazz. We're going to take a look at them Knickerbockers taking on the 76ers and the Pelicans taking on the Trailblazers. And, of course, we will break this down with knowledge like you have never heard or seen before with 3 of the absolute finest at WagerTalk.com. Starting at the top there he is, Ski Prophet in the house, ready to roll, as is the man in the middle today, Tony Mejia, ready. I mean, look at that face. He is ready to go right there. Then, of course, we got... There he is, the Godfather himself, Mr. Teddy Covers here at SportsMemo at WagerTalk.com. And Ski, talk to me, my man, yesterday on the show. How did we do yesterday? I know it was a light card for you last night, but what do you got going tonight at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, yesterday I split. So far today, I've sent out 3 plays, and that's all I've made. I don't have a package up, but subscribers have gotten 3 plays so far today.
Yep, good time to remind you guys, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages available now at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. That's the way to do it. This way you never got to worry about missing a play ever. Hop on, especially, do I need to tell you how much basketball are we going to get here, Tony Mejia, over the next couple of weeks? It's going to be obnoxious, so now would be a good time to hop on. And what do you got going on at Wager Talk tonight?
Yeah, do you know what? Joe, my customers know this. I have not done anything with the NBA with over the last, I guess, couple of days. I just don't trust it right now, and it's one of those cases where you're sitting there post All-Star break, and a lot of guys reported yet, and so I haven't reported yet. But I have done 1 or 2 things in terms of today. We'll knock out today and hopefully keep going. But at the same time, it is an instance where this is a brand new season where all these teams didn't even know that they were going to be playing these games until they released the schedule a few weeks ago. Some of these teams have not even really started playing yet. That's why you've seen all these wild results post All-Star break. So it is a very strange instance in the association.
Well, Tony Mejia does not trust the NBA, but I can promise you can trust this next guy here. Teddy Covers in the house. And Teddy, my man, NBA Association, it's a big time of year. What do you got going on at SportsMemo and WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, I've been running pretty good. I mean, I'm 67% in the NBA since the All-Star break. I think 61% over the last 5+ weeks, and 59% in the NBA. It's getting close to 150 plays now since the start of the bubble in Orlando last summer. So at 59% over that long-term track record. So the NBA's been pretty good. For tonight, I have a pair of plays up in the association, one of which we're going to talk about on the show today. So you can get both plays right now at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com.
All right, I love it. Then with no further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive into our contrarian game and play of the day. And just a quick reminder, the New York Knicks took it down last night against Well, didn't win crap, but they did cover, which was good. That, of course, puts the contrarian game and play of the day at a 26-16 mark thus far this season. And tonight, there's one team getting all the money, all the love. 81% of the tickets, 86% of the money currently. We're talking about the Chicago Bulls taking on the OKC Thunder in this one. Thunder up to 6.5. This opened up at 4.5, and it's been all Chicago, all day. Obviously, injuries playing a factor in this, and the newfound rotations they got in Chicago. Apparently, it's like the days of Jordan again there. Ski, let me start with you, my friend. A couple of rotation changes. Now, all of a sudden, everybody loves the Chicago Bulls. My question is this love gone overboard? Do you agree with this market move, or do you think there's some value in backing this Thunder team?
No, I disagree with the move for sure. I mean, this is not the role that I want the Bulls in. As a 6.5 favorite at home, no. They've only covered 2 of their last 6 games in general. You want them as a road dog. That's the role that I like backing the Bulls. But the Thunder, they're in the role that I like them in. I always call them road warriors since last year when they're on the road with minimal rest being 1 or less day. 33, 9-1 against the spread. If you want to look at just this season, if you think it was only Chris Paul, they're 12-3 against the spread this season. So I agree with the contrarian play today.
Who'd have thunk it there? Thaddeus Young. All the difference in the world there, Tony Mejia. Who'd have known? Throw him in the lineup and it's all changed. I don't get it. What do you do? Do you like the market move, or do you think the contrarian side is the way to go with the Thunder?
No, Thaddeus Young is the low-budget LeBron James this season. You play through him as a big 5. It's great. Look, I'm sorry I haven't seen it. But is Al Horford out tonight? Is that the deal?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. All right. Then yes, I agree with the line move, and I agree with the contrarian play of the day because, it'll haunt me otherwise. And to be very like, I really do play the thing. Like after the start of the season, it made a quick believer out of me. And I believe that this is going to be one of those situations where it doesn't matter if you have Al Horford in the game. Alexei Pokusevski has been very productive as a young kid playing in this lineup. They also have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander running the show, really doing a nice job of keeping everybody involved. He's like one of those superstars that is not selfish whatsoever. So even though they traded Hamidou Diallo to kind of clear up some of the wing space, they really do have a bunch of players in there that they can plug in next to Shai and play really good basketball. So give me the Oklahoma City Thunder plus the points.
Teddy, I feel like almost George Hill, Al Horford have never in the lineup. Every time we talk about OKC, they're never in. They just don't play, it seems like, most of the time. But has the market gone too far here? Do you agree with it, or is there some value there with OKC?
The markets haven't gone far enough, all right? The Bulls are a playoff team, and OKC is going to finish with one of the worst records in the Western Conference. I don't know if they're going to have the worst record or not. But I give the Thunder all kinds of credit. They're consistently able to take advantage of teams that look past them. And a lot of teams don't, no one gets up for playing OKC. Literally, nobody. But Horford matters. And when Horford and Bazley are both out, and Dort may not play either, for a team that has no depth, I don't know how OKC gets a rebound tonight. The Bulls should win the rebounding battle by 20. And they're going to get a lot more extra possessions. And I give OKC all kinds. Again, the effort is there night in, night out. And the Bulls, in terms of point spread covers this year when they were laying 5 or more, 0. Okay, they haven't had one. But I'm not trying to be reactive. I'm trying to be proactive. And Chicago's got a buy sign, and OKC doesn't. Bulls are past for this better.
All right, Bulls are pass for Teddy. I love this is what this show is all about, guys. That's what talking about these games is all about. Thunder 6.5, getting to hear both sides of the story. And that's what you got here as the Bulls get ready to take on the Thunder tonight. Thunder 6.5 is the contrarian play of the day. We'll take a look here at one of our featured games here on the show. And tonight, let's talk about the Utah Jazz taking on the Boston Celtics here. Opened up at 4.5, that being for the Utah Jazz. The total 226.5, and yet I'm seeing 4s pretty much across the board. I'm also seeing the total up to 229 at this point. So Let me go to you, Tony Mahir, my friend. Talk to me. It just seems like wasn't that long ago we were talking about this. Nobody's going to beat the Jazz. What a difference a couple of weeks makes here. But I don't know. Do you like Boston in this spot in this game?
I mean, the Jazz have done some struggling on the road, and now Marcus Smart is back for Boston. So it does make it interesting. I still think the Jazz are a much better team. I need the Celtics to show me a lot more than to trust them even getting 4 at home. And it's interesting because this number is right about right. It's +4 at home with a team that you expected to be one of the best teams in the entire league, but hasn't been. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have brought it, but at the same time, Kemba Walker was injured January. The fact that you had Marcus Smart out until just after this All-Star break ended has thrown a wrench into things. They don't have a post middle to really be a rim protector. And so, Brad Stevens has actually caught a lot of heat as to what he's been able to do with this team. So it doesn't surprise me that the Jazz are favored by 4 on the road. They have struggled of late, but they are the Utah Jazz. They're a really good basketball team that shares it, that has a rim protector, had 27 rebounds the other. So to me, I think Utah's the spot in this game.
All right, Utah is the spot. Now, Teddy, you did an amazing job breaking this game down. Teddy's Big Game Breakdown on Wager Talk today. Guys, make sure you check that out if you haven't done so already. Noon Eastern time every Monday through Friday. But talk to us a little bit about this Jazz. Recap it for us. Who you like in this matchup?
So the concept for me is pretty simple, all right? Utah started the season 4-4, and then they went 22-2. And now they're 2-4 their last 6. They're 1-4 straight up their last 5 on the road. The only win coming at Orlando. They've come back to earth from that incredible run. When you look at Utah's season-long stats, they're going to be as good or better than anyone in the NBA. From a pure power rating perspective, the Utah Jazz rank at the very top of the league. So you ask yourself, well, is Utah, are they going to be able to do that in the second half the way they would in the first half? I say no. Not to dismiss Quinn Snyder, not to dismiss what the Jazz have accomplished, but when you're talking about a team that was in the position they're in based in a large part on exceptional three-point shooting on the one end and exceptional three-point defense on the other end, again, you expect a regression to the mean at some point. And what's happened since the All-Star break, the Jazz aren't hitting threes at quite the same rate, and they're not defending threes at quite the same rate. So in general, I think Utah is a team we're going to make more money betting against over the course of the next few weeks than betting on. And then we look at the Celtics team. And again, this is a team that's built on the wings. They have the 4 guards that are all studs. But Kemba Walker missed the first chunk of the season. Marcus Smart missed another chunk of the season. Jason Tatum missed time. The one who's been healthy all year is Jaylen Brown. All 4 guards, all 4 of their wings are back and healthy right now since the All-Star break. And lo and behold, it's a Celtics team that's now, 5-1 their last 6 games, showing signs of being the team that we thought they would be. And Boston's season-long stats are going to lie too, because they're going to give you all these stats that say, well, they didn't have this guy, they didn't have that guy. But look at the Celtics' mediocrity. That's what the stats show. Boston's a mediocre team. I think from this moment, you're betting on the Celtics, you're betting on the Jazz, you're going to make more money than the other way around. I like Boston in this one, plus the points.
Going with the home team. What says you there, Ski? What are you thinking, man? Is Utah still hell yes, or is it like hell no right now?
Well, I disagree with Teddy on the first game, but I do agree with him here on this game. I'm selling on the Jazz. They can't continue what they were doing in the first half for another half of the season. And he touched on a lot of points that I wanted to touch on. So I'll just point out that the Jazz, over the last 2 games, they've had 31 turnovers. He said that, or the Jazz, their defense, they like to chase you off the 3-point line, try to force you to come inside. But the problem lately, they've been allowing the most points in the paint in the league over the last 5 games. And so I think Boston, whether they're shooting those mid-range shots, they're capable of hitting those tough shots. Tatum, he probably wants to shoot those shots anyway. Jaylen Brown, he can do it. Kemba. So I think Boston will have no problem scoring. They're finally healthy. They've had to deal with COVID, Kemba injury, et cetera, et cetera. Marcus Smart is back in the lineup. He can guard Donovan Mitchell, who went off last game. I agree with Teddy that I'm selling on the Jazz, and Boston has a buy sign right now. So I think they can win this game outright.
We're going to buy it outright at home as a dog here. And Tony Mejia, listen, we just watched, was it Golden State drop 130 on them a couple of nights ago. The total continues to rise here in this matchup. How are you looking at it?
I mean, I think that the Jazz are going to be prolific three-point shooting team for the rest of the season. I mean, that's how they're built. And Boston is also capable of filling it up. This looks like a high-scoring game.
He's going high on that. All right, I love it, guys. Let's take a look here at, well, the other team that we've got going to be looking at featured here tonight, that being the New York Knicks taking on the 76ers. Opens up the Sixers as a 6-point favorite. Total is 215 as an open. I'm seeing sevens in a number of places. I'm also seeing the total creeping up to 218. And Teddy, I'm coming to you here, my friend. The Knicks were a play of ours on the show yesterday from the contrarian side against Brooklyn. Second night of a back-to-back. What are you doing in this game?
It's Philly or pass for me. For at least two reasons, but let's start with the big two. One is the Knicks went all in against Brooklyn last night, and they rallied from 18 down, and they made it a one-possession game and had a chance at the end, and then Randall turns the ball over. But that was a max effort ball game, second to back-to-backs. I don't trust them here against Philadelphia. The other piece of the equation for the Knicks is they're playing without their point guards right now. You know, I mean, not that I love Elfrid Payton, but Elfrid Payton is their starting point guard. Not like I love Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has been good for them, and he's their backup point guard. Both guys are out, expected to be out again this evening, as Austin Rivers is as well. So when you're shorthanded at the point and you're coming off an all-in game on the second of back-to-backs, it's favorite or pass for this better a priori. I can only look at Philly in this ballgame.
Only looking at Philly. And listen, Ski, we know how good Philly is at home, right? Absolutely a play on here. You mentioned last night all those folks out for the Knicks. Didn't excite you there against Brooklyn. How about against Philadelphia tonight?
I probably would agree with Teddy. I would look more towards the total, though. And the thing with New York, I would like more if you had Rose, if you had Rivers, etc. But New York hasn't been playing any defense. That's the reason why they are where they are today. And they've regressed, and they're now, I think, the fourth worst defensive rated team over the last 5 games. So I think that combined with the Sixers and no Embiid, I think that they'll play faster. Look at that long term since the beginning of last season. It's been over 60.7% of the time. And if you look this season so far, the over is 5-2 without Embiid. So I think they'll play faster. I think they'll take advantage of that soft defense from the Knicks. And it'll be up for the Knicks to contribute. But both teams, or Knicks have went over their last 5. Phillies went over, 5 of their last 6. So I like points in this game.
Liking points there. And Tony, listen, the 76ers just demolished San Antonio with no Embiid. I think they won a game by 35 points. So how about against the New York Knicks? How would you look at it?
I mean, I'm honestly looking at the under here. It's a Dwight Howard against Nerlens Noel matchup in the post. And those are 2 rim protectors that can't shoot free throws and can't really get to the free throw line. And when they do get to the free throw line, they're suboptimal free throw shooters. So I'll just take my chances with the under on that. Like I think this should be the contrarian play of the day because nobody wants to play the Knicks, even with Joel Embiid out. I think the Knicks have a shot at covering. Teddy's absolutely right in terms of what happened last night. A really disappointing performance in the final minutes from where Julius Randle is having at it with the refs and upset that he didn't get a foul call down the stretch where he probably earned it. But at the same time, I think that they'll bounce back tonight, be competitive. I would take the Knicks, and I would definitely take the under.
All right, under in the Knicks there for Tony Mejia. That leaves one game left here on the card for us today, our overtime game. We'll get to that in a minute. I do want to remind you guys, though, that if you head over to Wager Talk, you can get, of course, Ski, Tony Mejia, and Teddy, or at sportsmemo.com with Teddy. You head over there right now. Now would be a great time to hop on with those all-access passes, guys. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. Never miss a play all throughout the tournament, through the second half of the NBA season. Now would be a great time. Best bets tonight, locked and loaded, up at WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com for Teddy. So now would be the time for you guys to head over there while we head to overtime. And the overtime matchup we're going to look at here in the association tonight, guys. How about them Portland Trailblazers at home taking on the Pelicans? Now, the interesting part about this, Ski, is that it opened at 240.5, and it's come down since. So all of a sudden now, what used to be a Pelicans, oh, just give me the over, not so much anymore now. Now we're looking at the under. What about you? Over or not? Under for you?
Pelicans started to play a little bit better defense, but I still have to look towards the over in this one. I think I look at this one, and of course you get CJ McCollum back. That's not going to mean any defense. If anything, it'll mean more offense. He'll probably be limited anyway. But I look at the Pelicans. They've been leading the league in offensive rebounds, and I see a lot of second chance points up for grabs in this one. So I think Pelicans have their fair chance of points that they're going to score, and I don't see any problem with Portland putting up points either. I know Pelicans defense played better a couple games. I need to see it another one to believe it. So I'll be going over or not in this one.
Tony, we saw the first matchup with these two teams. I think we had 250 points. It was Zion and Lillard show here. Is it over or not for you in this one?
Well, I love Rob Bino. I mean, I honestly think he's one of the best people I've met at this site. But he needs to stop trying to get Stan Van Gundy fired. He really does. I hope you're watching this, Rob. They're not playing defense for him. They ultimately will. The Pelicans are a team that I think is going to turn it around, and it might even start. It's already. I mean, they held the team under 80. But it might start now at the end of the All-Star break and now towards the second half of the season. Maybe they'll start heeding Van Gundy's messages. But the bottom line is that's what Stan Van Gundy is. He's somebody that nags you into defending night after night. I saw it in Orlando for years, and they just haven't heeded that message. It has really nothing to do with Zion Williamson because I think he's a willing defender. But if you've got guards that are going to press if you've got Steven Adams, who is a defensive-minded center, ultimately you're going to have a semblance of a team that appreciates that end of the ball. It hasn't come to fruition this season at all. So from that standpoint, I understand Rob's point. But we have a situation here where the Pelicans are going to start picking it up. Maybe it starts tonight. I would take the under, especially with Damian Lillard sharing the ball more with CJ McCollum now that he's back.
Yeah, and McCollum is active for this one, Teddy, but something tells me you're not going to be surprised with the line move going down in this total with the Pelicans. What do you think of this matchup?
So a couple things to talk about. First is that Vino's not going to have any success lobbying against Van Gundy because remember, he signed a 4-year deal, and this is the first year of that deal, and they paid him a whole lot of money. Yep. So Van Gundy's going to get a chance to remake the roster. He'll be invited back next year. And I don't think it's not a Van Gundy or Zion situation, which is the only way that they would fire him. I haven't seen any signs of that yet because Zion's the guy, obviously, for the Pelicans. And, Joe, you brought up the point about, I mean, it's not just the first meeting this year, both meetings last year, the last two meetings, flying over the total. 243, 255, 250. The last three times these teams have met, which all points us towards overs. And in every one of those last three meetings, at least one of the two teams has shot well over 50% from the floor. So we know that it's not a defensive matchup. But I'll tell you what, that first game back, and a lot of times the second game back, the third came back with the key player. And McCollum's a guy who has a lot of usage. He has the ball in his hands a lot. there's always a transition, even when you're talking about a veteran guy who's played in this offense and played for this coach and played with Little in the backcourt for years. That first game back is often more awkward than you might think. So I'm not surprised that New Orleans is as short as they are, and I'm not surprised the under has been taking the money here, not the over. Not a game I'm going to bet.
Last 10, 7-3 to Teddy's point there, to the over between these two teams. So maybe fireworks is what we're going to see again tonight with McCollum back as the number continues to drop a little bit here. And, of course, our good friend John Ryan there at sportsmemo.com, he's got an angle of the day that talks about this, with the New Orleans Pelicans being 9-19 against the number. And the over is 20-8 in games following a 25-plus point performance from Zion here. Interesting nugget of information, interesting angle there, Teddy, from John Ryan at sportsmemo.com. Don't know, would that change your opinion, Teddy, or from the side perspective seeing this?
Not necessarily. No, it's New Orleans or pass sideways for me. All right. There's a chance,
that's what I thought. Yep.
There's a chance the Pelicans are a team that's capable of going on a run. And if you want to get on that run early, today's the day you bet New Orleans, especially with Portland. And again, we say dealing with, they get a star player back,
yeah.
But I'm not convinced that it's going to look quite the same from day one with that star player back. So that doesn't move the needle for me necessarily, no.
All right, perfect. You got it, guys. All right, so 4 games in the books here that we broke down. Now it is time, of course, for our buzzer beater, the best bet segment here, where we throw 60 seconds on the clock, give these guys a full 60 seconds to say whatever the hell they want to say. As long as they drop a best bet for us, we are good. So, Ski, you running point here, my friend. Talk to me. 60 seconds on the clock. Are you going after Van Gundy? You going to take shots at Teddy? What are you doing, man? Go ahead. Give me the best bet.
You know I like throwing jabs on this show, so something's bound to happen. I don't know. I might leave Tony alone today. I think I'll stick to Teddy.
All right.
Teddy. Let's see this. How about, I hear what you say about the Bulls, but you tell me laying 6.5 going forward with the Bulls, you'll make money, and you do it, I'll tip my cap. I don't know about that. My best bet for today, I'm going to go to the game that we talked about a little bit earlier, the Pelicans in Portland. I gave you a lot of reasons why I like the over. There's no deterrent at the rim for Portland. There's going to be a lot of easy baskets for the Pelicans all night. I know they're missing J.J. Redick, but it's going to be a lot of easy baskets, a lot of second chance points. And Portland is the worst defense in the league over the last 5 games. They didn't get any better adding McCollum. If anything, they just added scoring. I like the over in this one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It hasn't been broke yet. So over in 238. My bad.
No, you're right. It's going down. Yeah, 238. You're good. Yeah,
give me a number. Give me a number, whatever it is.
It's 238. Yeah, 238 and a half, somewhere in there, but it has come down since 240. So going back to the over is where Ski's heading, and we're heading over to Tony Mejia. We're giving him 60 seconds. And go ahead, Tony. Talk to us, man. Buzzer beater, best bet. Where are you going tonight?
Well, I am going to Atlanta and Houston, and hoping that Victor Oladipo plays tonight, although we're not sure on that 100%. So be sure to check that out. You should always make sure that in these NBA games you have your full component of players going. But even if he doesn't, the Rockets have Mason Jones coming off the bench that should probably play. They've got Kevin Martin's son, KJ Jr., or whatever his name is now. He played at Sierra Canyon, actually, the same school where Ronnie plays. And is a really good player, really, really nice motor. They've got a couple of guys that they're really invested in, but it's not a good basketball team. I'd like to win this game, but I really like the over. So go high side there. And there you go.
Over. And it's all nothing but net there. I think Christian Wood, listen, at least Wood is doubtful. That's nice, right? Instead of completely being out, though. I know. I'm just saying, half full here, Teddy. Glass half full. Talk to me here, Teddy. Where are you going? I'm certain that you're going to take the first 5 to 10 seconds to rebuttal against the Ski there. So 60 seconds on the clock there, Teddy. Talk to us, my man. Buzzer beater, best bet.
I got nothing to rebut Ski again. He's fine. He's allowed to have his opinions. I'm not even thinking about that game. You know, I'm already on to this other game that we're focused on right now. And, of course, that would be the Miami Heat minus 10.5 against Cleveland. This is not a bet on Miami. This is a bet against Cleveland. They're not a team that I normally like to lay doubles with. You know, they have not been a good favorite. In fact, they only have 2-point spread covers all year, laying more than 5 points. So this isn't the Heat's role. But this isn't the Cavs' role either. And right now, Cleveland, again, we've seen the streaks out of the Cavs multiple times this year. When they're playing well, they stay playing well. When they're playing poorly, they stay playing poorly. And you've been able to make money riding these Cleveland streaks. And you look at Cleveland on the road, these first couple games from the breaks, they've looked awful. They are a bet against team right now. And I'm looking to bet against the Cavs as road dogs right now. That's their worst role.
Boom! Now, Ski, quick question. Who's more of a hell no? Houston Rockets or Cleveland Cavaliers? Where you going?
Houston Rockets, but I agree with Teddy as well, though.
See, Teddy, you won him over. I love it, man. All right, guys, recap time. Let's look at it here. Pelicans, Blazers over 238 tonight in that one for Ski. Tony likes the over also in the Hawks and Rockets. Teddy, it's just all about Cleveland. Laying the Heat there, 10.5 points. Our friends from the Gold Sheet also happen to like the contrarian game of the day. Of course, that is the OKC 6.5 taking on the Chicago Bulls. So, Ski, I will say our friends at the Gold Sheet, they are in support of the contrarian play as well. OKC Thunder plus 6.5. And don't forget this full write-up, guys. All you have to do is visit our Twitter page at WagerTalk. All the Gold Sheet write-ups you can find there. Always some great information, great layout, great data. Check them out there. So don't forget, head over to WagerTalk.com. Best bets locked and loaded for tonight. Those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages. It's the way to do it, guys. Right about now, this time of year, when it comes to basketball, this is where you make some money, and you do it with 3 of the absolute best here on the show. So head over to WagerTalk.com. You can catch Teddy at SportsMemo.com. You can also hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner and come back and check us out tomorrow as we break down more NBA games, another full slate tomorrow. So on behalf of Ski Prophet, Tony Mejia, and Teddy Covers, guys, thanks so very much for stopping by here. Best of luck with your plays. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. All daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in WagerBucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.